Hello, it's time for Flashback, our weekly history quiz. Let's find out what's happened in history. In 1667, the Dutch effectively trade Manhattan to the English for a Pacific island that grows their favorite spice, nutmeg. There we go, very consequential part of history. Here we have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood debuts. To the host Fred Rogers, the show isn't just TV, it's part of his ordained ministry, sermons and songs and sweaters. Yeah, one of the absolute greats of television is Fred Rogers. Let's put that in the 70s? No, 1968, almost the 70s. Okay. In India, Alexander the Great's troops reach the limit of their conquests. They're not defeated or beaten. After 10 years of war, they're simply homesick. That's the 300s? Yeah, 300 BCE, but yes. One of the very first films, The House of the Devil, is released. Despite the scary theme, the director wants audiences to be amazed rather than afraid. I assume this will be the very early 20th century or late 19th century, probably the early 20th. No, very, very late 19th, 1896. That's interesting. I wonder if that film is available to watch or if it's lost. So many films in that era were lost. Britain wins the 7 Years' War but ends up with crushing debt. Its solution to tax its American colonies plants the seeds for independence. We'll put that in the 18th century. There we go, 1764. Happy Birthday is copyrighted. It brings smiles and makes millions, but who wrote the lyrics is still a mystery. Early 20th century, probably? Yes, 1935. It's later than I thought. At the Olympics in Stockholm, Jim Thorpe's track shoes are stolen. Finding a mismatched pair of shoes in the trash, he wins gold medals anyway. Well done. Actually, not sure when this is. I suspect it's before 1935. Yeah, 1912, okay. Shakespeare's Macbeth debuts. He pens an opening scene with 3 witches to impress his superstitious patron, King James I. Well, we can definitely, obviously, put that before 1667. There we go. Oh, not long before, 1606. Okay. Using a steam engine, Edwin Drake drills the first oil well in Pennsylvania, starting the petroleum age. He never patents his methods and dies broke. Wow. Sometime in the 19th century, I guess. Yes, 1859, right in the middle. We're in the middle of it. Oh, there we go. We're done. Okay, good. Well, that went well. I mean, there were a couple where I was a bit iffy, but fortunately didn't flub any today. So, of course, essentially everybody correctly placed Alexander the Great's limits of his conquest, and then Shakespeare's Macbeth. Okay, so quarter of people misplaced that. I almost did. For some reason, I thought there was going to be more of a gap between that and 1667. I guess there was still enough of one that it wasn't a problem, but there we go. A few percentages of people misplaced 7 Years' War and taxing Britain's American colonies. 15% of people misplaced Edwin Drake and the first oil well in Pennsylvania using a steam engine. I wonder if that was early or late for most of those people. A very high percentage of people correctly placed The House of the Devil, one of the first films. Oh, for some reason I read this as one of the very first horror films, not one of the very first films. Right, okay. If I'd properly read and parsed that, I would have definitely I would have assumed, yes, it's definitely in the 19th century, not the 20th, but for some reason I misread that. I don't know why. And I thought, oh, well, the fact that it's of a particular genre, maybe it came a bit later. Okay, so a third of people misplaced Jim Thorpe at the Olympics. I didn't have the year in mind, certainly. So, and then a fifth of people misplaced Happy Birthday being copyrighted, probably putting it earlier. And finally, just about everybody correctly placed Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which makes sense because it was the first one, wasn't it? All right, well, there we go. That was a week in history. I always enjoy this. Hopefully you do as well. Back next week with more of this. Bye for now.